The man quickly took off his leather shoes. He threw his wallet into the toilet. Then he hid his belt under the bed. Last, he tried to take off his wedding ring. Just as he was pulling it hard, someone suddenly burst into the room. He followed the person outside and saw that all the prisoners were rioting. It turned out he was actually a prison guard. On his very first day at work, a riot broke out. To survive, he had no choice but to blend in and pretend to be a prisoner. The prison boss demanded that he take off all his clothes. New prisoners were not allowed to wear underwear. Luckily, he had rushed to work so quickly that morning, he did not put any on. This small detail saved his life. After that, he used his smart thinking to gain the boss's trust. For example, he suggested keeping one security camera on. That way, they could talk to the police if needed. Outside the prison, special forces had already surrounded the area, but they did not dare to storm in. There were 3 terrorists inside. If anything happened to them, it might cause a violent revenge from their group. Soon, both sides began their first negotiation. The boss asked the man to step forward and be searched. During this, he quietly told the police where the hostages were. The prisoners did not want shorter sentences. They only wanted the abuse to stop and to receive medical care when sick. Then the boss asked him to call his wife. As the door opened, he almost walked out, but he was stopped by a sudden scream. He turned around and saw prisoners fighting. One man had been beaten to death. The police heard the noise and thought a hostage was killed. They prepared to break in. The man quickly dragged a hostage in front of the camera, stopping the chaos just in time. Because of this, all the prisoners began to trust him. Taking advantage of the moment, he quietly stole the boss's walkie-talkie. But to his shock, the police never truly planned to negotiate. He was just a pawn in their plan. The boss soon found the walkie-talkie missing. The man pretended he had just found it, and managed to fool the boss during the check. Meanwhile, families of the prisoners were protesting outside the prison. Among them was his pregnant wife. To end the crisis quickly, the police started using force to break up the crowd. He watched with his own eyes as his wife was struck by a guard's baton. Then she was hit again and again. The man was filled with rage and wanted revenge. He begged the prison boss for help. The boss called in a guard. The man walked past a long line of prisoners and saw the furious guard. When he learned that his wife had died, he completely broke down. The boss came over and hugged him, then nodded to the other prisoners. With a single order, the prisoners rushed forward and beat the guard. To save himself, the guard shouted that the man was actually a police officer. At that moment, the man lost all reason. He picked up a piece of broken glass and slashed the guard's neck.